all saw this coming the entire episode, but I think we all let out a collective goddamn when it actually happened. Goddamn, Big T. Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss P-Valley Season 2 Episode 6, Savage. Now, before we get into all things, whoa, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that, and then we're going to come back and discuss this goddamn emotional roller coaster this episode. Who the fuck I look like, Vivian Green? I was not prepared for any of this. One moment we were hot, heavy, and horny, and then the next, we were just done. Done.
Go back.
Have hopefully subscribed to see more of me. Let's get into this episode. We start off immediately with Diamond digging out guts and eating dinner with Big Bone. All you ladies pop your like this. Ow, shake your body, don't stop, don't quit, just do it. Having a good fucking time. Long time coming. Diamond. After everything we witnessed Diamond go through with Keyshawn last season, we know more than anybody that he deserves to get fucked on, and we were so happy for him. But not so fast. We can't even look Big Bone in the eye because we are still fantasizing and thinking about Keyshawn. Multiple times Big Bone said, every time you can't look me in my eyes. You've been fucking me this entire time and you're still thinking about Keyshawn. Even when we have freak nasty ass Big Bone go, you stay nothing in that condom. I need that in my mouth. I need it down my throat. Me personally, I don't need that much protein in my diet, but do you? Even after everything Keyshawn put Diamond through, he still cares and has feelings for her. And I think that says a whole lot about the type of dude that Diamond is, especially when you got Big Bone in your face saying, you gotta suck the head on them nail crawfish. You gotta be all the way over the dance off this. Having real good. It looked real juicy, real sticky, real sweaty. But pause, that ring is still there at Diamond's spot, being blessed, highly favored, and guarded. Don't touch it. Nobody touch it. Now, we also pick back up with Lil Murdah and Big T. You have to remember this episode that Big T went fresh out doing security, guarding Lil Murdah. He has not had his official I'm back home ass celebration. So this episode was very much given, you ever been inside of a federal courtroom? Nigga, you ever went to trial and fought for your life? Me bro did something to my spirit, asked niggas to plug me. They act like they couldn't hear me. You're not dropping German engineering. You don't want your baby mama fuck. Keep the very much so an official ass gang homecoming for Big T. Such great acting from him this entire episode. He was giving off this luminous ass light when it came to Lil Murdah multiple times this episode, just looking up on him with such admiration. And there's this sense of completion in his face, and you just don't know what's going on. He gives him a car. I'm like, y'all got some money? Will Lil Murdah get some money to be gifting somebody a car? But that's neither here or there. Loud ass, camo ass car. But you see, Big T's just overcome with just emotions, and he's crying, and it's nothing that we haven't seen from him before. So right off in the beginning of the episode, we just feel like, oh, he's crying because he's just so happy for Lil Murdah, or just because he's just overcome with emotion because he is an emotionally unstable man. And we also see that according to T, this is a very important day for him. He getting a fresh cut, the whole fire flame cut, getting all debonair. He has on his best dress. past. And you also have Lil Murdah kind of planning ahead for him. You're going to be on tour with me once we, get it all back together. But you don't see him engaging in these plans. And you don't even hear him say that that's something that he wants to do. But in Lil Murdah's mind, if I make it, we've all made it. You're going to always be here by my side. And I'm going to get into why I felt like Lil Murdah really wanted him there. Side note, did you peep how in the barbershop when Lil Murdah and Big T were talking about future plans, when Lil Murdah was talking about his songs, there was a very clear picture in the reflection of Big T, Robert Johnson, that old 30s blues musician who made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, who could riff like no other, and who claimed to have sold his soul to the devil for fame and riches and skills. Wonder what that means. Now we also have Hayley here, who is still very much so living out of the pink. And Big L and Clifford are sick of her. But at this point, it's just like, let's be real. What is the alternative? We can't throw her under some bus. We can't turn her in. Not only is she supplying the money for the club, but we have bills coming in. We have a Ricky remix ass opening. We have stuff to pay for that only Hayley can supply. And at the end of the day, all of us have blood on our hands. All of us, got rid of that body, shot Montavious. I mean, what other options do we have? I love how you have Big L on the side. Well, we could always sell a little dress. Like, Big L, I don't want to hear nothing about that drug deal. It's like, yeah, because Big L don't sell no drugs, huh? Now, I cannot be the only one waiting on somebody to wink at Derek. When somebody gonna wink at Derek? When is somebody gonna put their cat eye on Derek's ass? Because he needs to go. We get into Keyshawn this episode, who is scared, she's battered, and she's bruised. Like, she is still there, and Derek couldn't be happier. He actually got a job and is feeling himself. Actually had the nerve to ask Keyshawn if she wanted to come along. You want to go to the party, hang out with my friends type shit. Like, have you seen my fucking face? You really feel the tension in Keyshawn's suffering. Since Derek has a job and he has yet to have one this entire time, and she's been the sole breadwinner, that was her only option and window of getting out the house to go do anything that didn't involve her being underneath Derek's controlling ass thumb. But now that he can supply some money and he's bringing in some income, especially depending on how much it is, that exhausts all hope of her getting away. So the only way that she's gonna actually get away is to leave. There's no more tour, no more Rome. I love how Rome is just dead and literally nobody cares. It's just like, well, it's just a little hiccup in the tour. I'm ready to keep the ball rolling. Just hold on, Keyshawn. Nobody literally cares. And it just seems like more of a bigger opportunity for him to abuse Keyshawn, keep her under his thumb. How is she going to get out? We see very much in this episode, she still does not have the strength to leave. Child, when we had Keyshawn plot and get in that car, she's trying to run away with those kids. She still has that goddamn gun from the bank, and he's rigged the car not to go anywhere. Like, and she goes back into the trailer, and it's just like, oh my God, Keyshawn, hitch a ride, call somebody, walk. I don't care. Catch the goddamn Chuckalisa parking ride. Just don't go back in that house. She is in there, she is armed, and she is scared. And from what we see throughout this episode, she does not have the strength to pull that trigger just yet. But I feel like we all just about know where this is going. Of course, we had Woody last episode say that Keyshawn is the biggest killer of them all. And I feel like we're going to get to that point where it's a me or him situation, and she is going to have to kill Derek. Speaking of Woody's just MIA, pulling the tour back together, and nobody really knows what happened except for Keyshawn. I love how yet again in this episode when we have Lil Murdah call and she's like, he tried to do it. She's like, well, good. I'm glad his ass gone. He deserved that shit. But every single time we have somebody go, oh yeah, he knew about you, Lil Murdah. He knew about Lil Murdah. Knew what? You know what he knew. And throughout the episode, we have Lil Murdah pretty much trying to piece two and two together. Like, Woody show know a lot. You think Woody might have killed Rome? Speaking of Lil Murdah, yet again, we have him here in this episode really trying to have his cake and eat it too. You can see that he's trying to smooth things over, really bring him aboard to be on that tour, even though everybody can really see that there is something deeply wrong with Big Tech. And I know a few people had an issue with his acting or the overacting, but I think it's been really valid, especially up until this point, just to show how emotionally unstable that he is and why he is that way. You really get into Big T just trying to have his day to himself, really low-key trying to get rid of Lil Murdah. And I really feel like Lil Murdah had a sense of where he was mentally and what he might be capable of, and he just didn't want to leave his side. And not even just that, where else would he go? Because there's no place to go. He is trying really, really hard to keep T right by his side. You're gonna go on tour with me. He's making all of these plans. Meanwhile, you have T just looking at everything that is surrounding him, and it's just like, things have moved on without me. People have moved. I don't fit here. You see him overcome with just such grief and sadness, not only for his life, but just the state of every day for a Black man. He is just such a broken person. But in really watching this episode, for Lil Murdah, it is way, way more than that. There is that sense of, you know, if I go, you go. If I make it, the homies make it. That whole Survivor's Guild, I owe you, you saved my life. That's half of it. The other half is him selfishly trying to keep T there. Child, when they have that sit down in the diner, which was a really great scene. I love how you have Lil Murdah like pretty much telling the waitress the equivalent, like, bitch, get the fuck out my man face. He is so selfishly trying to keep Big T to him and with him. And Big T knows, like, you know, you've moved on, the world has moved on. When he said, you know, what is he like? I was like, huh, what is Clifford like? And you watch T's face as we listen to Lil Murdah speak to Cliff's likeness as if it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and there's this gleam of just hope. Like, he knows, like, whatever you had or I thought you had for me. I love how they reminisce and go back to their Shawshank Redemption, Folsom Prison, romantic candlelight ass rendezvous in the closets. Like, they have so much history and it runs so deep. But he knows, like, whatever that is and what you have now for this Clifford person, that's not what you have with me. And he tries to hold his hands. Lil Murdah wanted to keep T to himself just to feel like, you know, hey, not only do I have my bodyguard, my protection, somebody who understands me and knows me all the way up and down here by my side, but he's here to not only be my friend, but my lover. He's trying to be in the closet and on the down low just as much as I am. We were brought up in that culture. So if I want to be on tour and, you know, keep this to myself and have my private whatever with him, he is down for that. Whereas Clifford, I have to really admit things to myself, to my community about who I am, my music, my career, everything could come to a halt. Clifford is clearly not for me having him in the closet, and he wants a lot more from me. Whereas T, he's here and he wants nothing and he's asking for nothing. The stakes and the exposure in this relationship are so low. I don't have to give up or change who I'm trying to be with Big T. Whereas if I want to go with Clifford, oh baby, you gotta come out. We also have multiple plots going on here in this episode, courtesy of Mercedes. For one, the one with Shelly, alcoholic ass Shelly. I am so over it at this point. You have her going by, where's Terica? Trying to bring some groceries and shit. Like, I am so done with the song and dance, the back and forth of, I ain't gonna never be good enough. You ain't gonna never let me have her. You can't have shit, that, all of that. You don't know what it means to be a mother. You have Shelly acting like she's righteous. She's a great mother. She's there for Terica. Meanwhile, she doesn't know where she is and she's guzzling down 50 fucking bottles of wine a day. And then you have Mercedes continuing to be on her sad ass sack of shit horse. I am so done with it. At this point, just like, go to fucking court. Like, don't wait for her to tell you what you can and can't do for your daughter if these are the things that you want to do. If there was ever a chance for you to go to court and try to get custody of her, and there's proof that she was in that fucking front seat because she was in the back drunk, there's no food in the refrigerator, she doesn't even fucking know where she is, this is the time for you to go to court and try to get Terica back because you care so much and you want to be that mother to her. But meanwhile, while you guys are fighting and nitpicking and Terica is alone. Neither one of you even know where she is. Like, this young lady literally has nobody, and the person that she thought she had thinks of her as a mistake. But you know, hey, we can't even make a good phone call enough to see where she is without Coach calling, wanting to pick up on that threesome. Let's get into this fucking thrumple. Didn't I tell y'all that Coach Carter was not going to be rubbing those Birdman ass hands together when he was no longer in control? Child, it was very much giving she hate me. I like pussy too. Farrah has been all up and through Mercedes, and he could tell, like, oh yeah, my stroke game ain't stroking. Girl, you don't care about my stroke, but you're here for Farrah's fingers. You bitches been together before. And he just could not take it. Now, even though we have Mercedes trying to hose Farrah down in the episode, like, you know, hey, calm down. We got to keep it, you know, PG. Let's just, and she's like, no, like, she is so in tune and so hot and bothered for Mercedes. And I think we can see in this episode that Mercedes felt that and a little bit more too. There is such a sense of sensation and just pride on her face when she is sexually satisfied by Farrah. But I'm gonna tell you where Mercedes just fucked all the way up. When we have Coach just feeling himself and it's not working. Hamilton, it's not working. And he just feels like Farrah, what the fuck is this? What are you doing? And it's just like, what about my dreams? What about my ambitions? What I want to do? I've been so busy fulfilling you in 19 years and you have fucking Mercedes in the background. Yeah, what about her dreams? Sit your ass down. We are here for one thing. We are here for the money. This is a transaction and you were supposed to treat it as such. If you were planning to walk off, fine. You ended up walking off, but you didn't plan to walk off. Where's my money? You still owe me this. As soon as Coach felt disrespected with that same trifle, oh, you bitch, you hoe, prostitute club, your contract, like you were disrespected in every single type of way, and you thought Farrah was gonna have your back? Child, what I can do is hand you these pumps. Farrah has made it very clear I've been putting up with this man's shit for 19 years and that she is not the breadwinner, meaning that she has no plans to go a motherfucking place anytime soon. What, she was gonna walk out and go with you? Absolutely not. It feels like Mercedes maybe thought they had a deeper connection. Not saying that it may not come back later, but it's just like, oh, really, Farrah? This is all you got for me? You just gonna hand me my pumps? Well, let me just walk out. No! Grab your money, then you walk out. Was it all for nothing? So much going on in this episode. We also get little interludes from Whisper and Roulette, and we can see crystal clear that Roulette has self-esteem issues, especially when we get into Whisper. Like, when we have her fucking it up on the pole and there's supposed to be this duet, and they're making it happen until the Panks reopening, and you have Whisper just, you know, clamoring for all that attention, and you literally have Whisper in no way possible does the bare minimum on the pole. Both of them are freaking amazing, but you see that Roulette feels like she has to do a little bit more, be a little bit more extra, Circus Olay, just to garner that same attention. I love how we have Diamond just walking in the background doing security. But you have that same man come up who dropped the stack for those dick sucking lips, and it's just like, I wish I got that option. You want to give her 2 stacks to eat her pussy? I didn't get that option. I had to get on my knees. I always have to do a bit more. Period. I've always had to do a bit more. It seems like this has been the story of her life. But in comparison to Whisper, Roulette was just giving off this sinister, hater-ass energy this episode and this jealousy. I'm really hoping that it doesn't go beyond that, but she was just looking like, look at this nigga just throwing all this money on her, and she doesn't even have to do anything. She didn't have to degrade herself, get on her knees, suck it. She didn't have to do any of that. You're doing it just because you like the way she looks. And we really get into how she feels about herself and that steam that was coming off of her ass. But we have Duffy come by with that swag, you know, that white boy swag. Hey, boo, that was good. Like, yes, girl, I'm feeling you. You're beautiful. You're talented. You're the most beautiful, talented bitch in the parking lot. What are you trying to say? Because I know for a fact that I am not that girl. So I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with them moving forward. And is she gonna try to throw Whisper under somebody's butt? She didn't have to look at Whisper like that. Now, after we are officially informed that Toy definitely fucking had COVID, and she gave it, you know, just what we thought, y'all. She didn't gave it to Loretta. She gave it to Grandma. Like, first of all, I need people to just stop walking around the COVID issue on this show. She's like, oh, she got a tip. She's sweating. She has fucking COVID. We've acknowledged it. Toy has the fucking package, and she's been spreading it around the paint. Go get Grandma some help. Go get her some help. We also catch up with Hayley and Andre. We see what Hayley is up to. She is trying very hard to give us her best Jessica Rabbit impression this episode. Their whole dynamic, even the casino aspect, those are by far my least favorite aspects of this show. Not only even, you know, the episode, this show in general, like, I'm starting to lose interest, which is weird because the Pank and the casino, you know, it's ranking on one another. But clearly we have Hayley. She is still trying to get her foot in the door to sell the Pank. We have the, maybe, you know, this dead senator's wife and her having this power. Andre trying to find his footing, get backing as, you know, the mayor, people in the audience, the little masquerade ball could give two claps, two dance. Like, they just don't care. But he just felt, you know, felt some type of way because Hayley was stepping on his neck at the party. But Andre clearly feels some type of way. Not only Andre, but Corbin feels like, you know, she's overstepping her boundaries. This is the easiest fucking party ever to get into. Like, she's trying to, Lakeisha Savage is trying to make herself known. But Hayley was trying really hard to give the boom, 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 boom. As soon as we get into Hayley and Andre, it turns into some soap opera, some dark 50s, 40s, neo-noir, smoke-filled, come up and see me sometime. Like, I just could give two fucks. First of all, anybody, I personally wasn't waiting because I just don't give a damn. I just never cared. But we all knew that Andre getting cheated on, that was his validation to go ahead and do whatever the fuck he really wanted to do with Hayley. I thought their little connection, that little thing at the party, I thought they were playing with Corbin and they were in cahoots. Clearly, they had their moment last episode talking in front of the Pank about what they wanted to do and how they wanted to move together. So I thought maybe Andre was opening those doors so that she can maybe get that 10 million to sell the Pank. But no, he is upset with her. You were stepping on my toes. I could have said you couldn't come in the party. And she is really trying to show and display herself as, you know, that boom, 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 seductress in red. You know, she has, I'm make him think he has control, but I low-key have the power, which we always knew. Andre got a haircut this episode. Andre got a haircut and had a suit on this episode. Nothing against the actor. Nothing, you know, sometimes they have Andre looking like he going to the corner store to buy a single Newport. I'm just saying, like, they be really trying it. He be looking real. Dang. Anybody who watch goddamn 5 Heartbeats, you know what dang means. Like, Andre cleaned up. She wanted to make Andre feel like he was in control. And this is the moment that everybody, not me, has been waiting for. Yes, he finally gets to be with Hayley. And it was dry as fuck. God forbid it be in a lit room where we could see all the sex scenes this episode. So juicy, so warm, so chocolate. Got to them, it just seemed so fucking dry. And it was so I was like, this is it? This is what the audience has been waiting on. But it was more so just to show how really not in control that Andre, you know, she's putting the fingers in his mouth and he can't even build his strength to, you know, choke her. Like, oh, you couldn't even get the grip stroke, you know, that good like choke your ass till you pass out stroke. It's just like, you want me to, no, like, just resuscitate me, keep going. You couldn't even get that. It's just like, oh God. He was just so spent, and we see, you know, very much so, even though she had to crawl to him and come out of you still don't have no fucking control, Andre. You never have. but A for effort. So after we leave Lakeisha Savage low-key helping Andre's whack-ass campaign and her getting a stronger endorsement to maybe sell the pink, we don't know, we get into Big T this episode. We get into where his deep trauma really lies. We take a trip to his childhood home and we learn some background on him. This is so deep rooted. Long before he ever met Lil Murder, long before jail, he, had his mother have a whole manic episode and she tried to kill him and successfully killed 3 of his siblings, and it's something that he's carried with him literally on his face from that day. And we get this image of him as a young boy in a closet, and I'm just like, damn, he has literally physically and mentally been in a closet all his life. Like it's just really sad. It was really sad just to see T give up here and not see anything for himself. And I think it really spoke a lot to mental illness, especially with men, and admitting when you need help. You have, not that he meant any harm, but you have Lil Murder this entire episode, or just even since he met Big T, you have people acknowledging, something is off, something is wrong, he needs help, he doesn't need to be on tour, he's not stable, he needs help more than you could ever give him at this point. No, we need to move on, we got money to give, we got things that, why? What's wrong with you? Look how great everything is. And T just does not recognize that he has some really deep rooted things that he hasn't dealt with and doesn't feel like he can, and he no longer wants to be here. Child, and it was so sweet. It was very romantic the way that they were sitting, and we are the coolest motherfuckers on the planet. The sky is falling, ain't no need to panic. Ooh, I got a stick, just want your automatic. Compatible, creative in the attic. They have so much chemistry, so much history. It runs deep. It runs really deep. But with Big T, this is just about as far as it goes. And as we have seen this entire episode, he just wanted to be alone. This was his day of completion. I want to, go on this journey, maybe eat one of my favorite foods, revisit, my childhood home, tell Lil Murder that I forgive him, move on, give, all of his props. Lil Murder's song is on the radio, finally. What the fuck wrong? Don't nobody know that nigga. Ain't nobody, yet. What did he say? Yet. Yes, Bodie. Don't nobody know him yet. I was so happy at that gas station scene to see, how Big Tech was taking it all in and how proud he was. Just man, my man's made it. His music is on the radio. He is going to be great. He's just thinking about, what Lil Murder is going to be moving forward, because he's already set in stone that he didn't want to be here anymore. When he took that gun out and it's just fine, you don't want me to drop you off? Fine, I'm just going to do it. I just can't. This is my moment. This is my day to leave. He was overly prepared. It's so sad just to see him so ready to go and give up. When he took that gun out and it's just I'm going to do it right here, you just won't leave me be, I was like, please don't do that. At that moment, I felt like we've already had T sit on the hood of the car and discuss how that trauma with his mother has affected him, or just whatever has happened in his life from that point. And it just seems like he has a lot on his shoulders at the fact that he survived and he had to listen and witness so much as a child. He witnessed and and heard what the mom did to the siblings, and them just screaming out in agony. And I was like, just maybe for that reason alone, he won't kill himself here in front of Lil Murder, just because he is in the car, because he was just so ready. But that great acting coming off of Lil Murder and him just doing and saying no, I believe you, I see it for you, nigga. I was oh God, it was just a lot. And he's just so dumb. He had already made up his mind. It's just to see him in that space and know that a lot of people get to that space, and it is what it is. It was nothing more that Lil Murder could have done, and for him to do it right there in front of him. And we got that. It was the 3rd of September. We got that goddamn Temptations car shooting. The light. I was like, oh, this is mine. You can't take it. Long as I know I've got love, I was like, damn. I also think that T forced Lil Murdah to put a mirror up to himself this episode, because even though, you know, our song is on hard out here for a pimp, I'm in charge, like it's giving all that good energy. Yes, finally we have bigger and better things to move on to. Everything is all good and grand, but you are still very closeted and hiding a portion of who you truly are from the world. You cannot be your genuine self, and it's not even just, you know, friends and family. With you being on such a large public platform, trying to be on stage, live your everyday life, you are forced to pretend to be this way and keep so much of yourself, you know, closed off, secret. That has to have affected him so harshly in such a tough way. It has to be mentally draining to have to be mindful of how you move and who you move with, and when you move with them 24/7. That's no way to live, and I feel like Big T knew that. And it just forces him to go, you know what, I'm not okay, I need help. And he goes to who he knows is going to be there for him. He has to now. Goes to Clifford and admits, you know, I'm not okay mentally. I'm not okay. And he embraced. Did you see Loretta comes? Is Daddy? Is that you? Like, heck, if y'all want to kill off Loretta, if she got to leave the show at this moment to go and be somebody's mama on a movie, just say that. But don't play with me. Go get her some help for this COVID. But you know, he takes him in and is glad to. I was glad to see him do that for himself, and I'm very interested to see where that takes us in the new episode. Now, we also leave off with Terica rolling up with that good old first response test. She is pregnant. Are we surprised? Absolutely not. Who has been here for her? Nobody as of lately. When, you know, them adolescent age years, nobody has been here for her. Nobody. She's been spending her time with this alcoholic who deeply sees her as a mistake. And Mercedes has been off on her soapbox and, oh, you ain't never gonna let me get it. I ain't never gonna. All of this happening, she went and found her some love and affection where she could get it, and looks like it was with the boy. So we really get to see where that leaves her relationship with Shelly, where, you know, it stands with Mercedes, because I'm sure at this point, you know, upstanding alcoholic Shelly will most definitely look down on Terica being pregnant at just about the same age that Mercedes was. Like, oh, it's just trash. Everybody's just trash. Where's my wine? Like, absolutely shit. But we have so much to look forward to in the show. The show is just really getting good. This episode was something else. I'm so excited to see the next one. Well, you guys, that was my review for P-Valley Season 2, Episode 6, Savage. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please drop down and talk to me. I absolutely love that. I absolutely adore the fact that you guys have really been coming through for my P-Valley discussions. Like, I wish y'all came through for everything, but you know, potato, french fry. But I appreciate you guys either way. Keep running these videos up. Be sure to share them. If you had a good time, you laughed, share me. Tell a friend who could tell another friend. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye.